Cool. What's up, everybody? I'm Francesco. I'm part of the DevRel team at ConsenSys, and yeah, excited to be here. How many developers do we have in the room? So I can fine-tune my talk around 437 and more. Okay, cool. Couple of people. Yeah, I'm part of the DevRel team. I've been running developer communities for a decade now, and I've been kind of like helping launching all the kind of MetaMask snaps. How many of you guys heard about snaps? We'll start also to speak a little bit about it. But yeah, I'm helping different things. And sorry, some water is out here. Yeah, I want to give a big shout out. So I kind of pre-built this deck based on different things. Big shout out to my colleague Alex Jupiter. He's running the accounts group lead at MetaMask. I did different talks around 437, and this time I want to do something a little bit more special. Oh, nice. We have the. I can speak. Awesome. Yeah. So so we're building different the community is building a lot of AA snaps, and I just want to show you a little bit what I'm talking about right now, and I don't want to just do the boring talk around the 437 again. But so this is something that obviously a lot of people are used to. I started like this. Everybody's running SRPs when they want to kind of create a new wallet. That's kind of the usual things where kind of Dan, the co-founder of MetaMask, kind of started thinking about having secure ways to secure accounts and backup and recover your accounts. But I mean, crypto has been around for quite a long time. I know it doesn't look like 7-8 years pass so fast, but we definitely need to find different ways. And the idea of this talk is not just about 437 what's coming next, but it's also how can we move through snaps, through beyond and kind of SRPs and make kind of life easier, not for us because we are already kind of in this ecosystem, but for the people that don't want to go through the pain of SRP and different kind of account switch. So this is something that I've been using for quite a while, but basically we are on that kind of, and you can reuse it for anything else, right? So we are kind of here. This is what SRP experience made everything possible, but how we can kind of go beyond the SRPs having a much smoother experience for user in our space in dedicated use case, right? Could be gaming, could be attestation, could be on specific things. And one way possible is through snaps, meaning we're building this fully modular set of add-ons for the extension. They're fully open source, and all the company, all the community can build on top of it, right? I will give you a little bit an overview what snaps are today and why they're kind of needed around building sustainable and permissionless innovation tech stack, and kind of giving you an idea of what snaps are not there and what I would like to see, especially for onboarding, kind of going to the next level of users onboarding. So what I basically define right now is what snaps are. Just to resume a little bit, they are nothing else as add-ons of your extension. Think about kind of costume functionality extension of what the extension does not today. And there are different use cases, right? Think about BTC Snap, Solana Snap. Today you cannot building interoperable payments between different chains. So basically adding different non-EVM Snap is something that you can do today and kind of do native transactions directly on the wallet with literally 2 clicks. And this is kind of the interoperability Snap. Then we have stuff like transaction insights. Notification is something super interesting, especially for gamer and apps builders around games there. I'm definitely interested on more privacy and decentralized identity Snap. There is a full security Snap category that is helping giving the users more data points. It's basically you installing 2 clicks the security Snap, and it's basically flagging it's basically doing a further check if you're interacting with a malicious contract or not, and it's actually super interesting. And right now it's not everybody can just publish a Snap. There is a full allow list way, but we're working on making the fully a permissionless kind of onboarding for Snap's developers in the ecosystem. But today you can check it out. Like I will send and I'll put some links here. And I think we have 9 minutes. Long story short is that, and this is a question that everybody kind of like asking, it's very important to understand that snaps are nothing else as siloed apps requesting permission and interacting independently to the extension. So what does it mean? They can communicate with external API, and every single interaction and connection and ask and request is done directly on a fully like permissionless way, meaning also like it's quite transparent. I will just show you a little bit what I mean, right? This is the wallet guard snap, and whenever you're installing after where you're adding the snap to your extension, it actually like asks you everything from like allow website to communicate directly with the snap, like even access to the internet, even accessing directly to your private key, and it's very important to understand that you have fully visibility on the request and the notification that you're getting, and anytime you can just go on setting and revoke those accesses to the snap itself, right? That's super important. And all the code for those snaps is fully open source, is an NPM package that is directly accessible, and it's quite actually straightforward because you can see also the author. So any snap that you can see in the marketplace as an author, as a community, as a fully dedicated address. So what basically said right now, so it's full self-custodial. They are live in your wallet, meaning every time that you're just installing it, it will be there in your setting. You will see a list of snaps that automatically are installed, and they are running in the background. So basically kind of like you can forget and do whatever like you want to do, and the feature that basically you added. I don't want to bore you with the history, but long story short was like the first kind of like start happened back in DEF CON Osaka when both Dan and Eric wanted to add Cosmos support directly on extension, and that's kind of how the use case started, right? For non-EVM compatible snaps, for like and then kind of continuing with specific like notification, batch transaction, even a smart account, and now I will show you a little bit like the 437 account snap. So I will not do a live demo because it's taking quite a lot of time, but I can run through a little bit like the three account abstraction snap that we have today. We have Silent Shard, Sephora, and Capsule. It's actually quite interesting. I have only one end, but basically like if you're going on the snap directory today, what you can do is you can just full on discovery and go in the account management snap. But basically like you can basically also go further and just add to MetaMask. I will not do it because it's taking a little bit of time, but I will show you like a picture here how does it work. So Silent Shard is super interesting because it's a dedicated, I don't know if you guys are using, but it's a dedicated app on iOS and Android. And the cool thing is that adding this snap is providing you an entry data points for light wallets, meaning automatically you can start QR code scanning with your Silent Shard app. Directly the QR code that will happen to be in the extension, and automatically you log in. It's actually very, very powerful because you're not passing through specific like SRP for creating a second account on top of the main account. So that's like one of the example, and I can show you a little bit on what's happening in the background. But normally, like what's happening is that the user is creating the request to the dApp. The dApp is connecting to the extension, and the snap is basically registering the new account with this new API called Keyring. We have actually a bunch of also like bounty on keyrings, but it's something that we shipped a couple of months ago. And on the right side, you basically see what's the snap is responding and is creating directly the request to the extension and is responding directly to the dApp. So it's actually quite straightforward, the flow. I hope I'm not losing anyone. I will not go through like the docs, but it's actually quite straightforward. You can actually custom EVM accounts, both symmetric on a symmetric and asymmetric basis, and is specific to like the snap that you're building. The cool thing is that we try to make it easy for developers at hackathons, at building product or extending their functionality with their own tech stack to build Snap. And we have template Snap, we have monorepo Snap, and those things you can just fork it and build and extend the functionality on it. This is the sample of the keyring Snap. You basically connect your extension, and automatically you can create, import, get access, and link accounts. And it's actually quite cool because you can link directly accounts, and you can actually link also like light accounts. That is quite straightforward. Cool. For anybody that is interested to build something like that, the allow list criteria is quite straightforward. You want to obviously have your code fully open source and need to be self-custodial. And important that like the fourth part, mostly like if the code directly manage private key and funds, then they need to audit increase. So you want to also especially like audit for the first revision. And so like kind of like the why also like we're here kind of current to the talk is that Snap since ETH-CC, they're also like 437 supported. So, and this was a quick demo that we built with Byconomy, that they build an account management Snap that I show you in the on the other side, but I can show you a little bit like a screen recorded quickly. Basically what's happening is that you're going on your Byconomy smart account Snap, you're accessing the extension, you're installing the Snap, and here you see, so you're allowing requests, you're allowing the website, you're adding control of Ethereum addresses, and you're specifying access to the Ethereum .js injection. So we're installing the Snap. Boom. So it's basically now running on the background. And what happens here is that we created a new account on top of our current account. And automatically what you can see here is that you have the Byconomy Snap that create 4 different methods. And right now, I mean, the front end is not the best, but the concept here is that whenever you sign in, you can basically set up a fully recovery and deploy a second account. So, and it's actually quite cool because you can create multiple light accounts and also defining specific like token approvers. What does it mean? That the light accounts will not pay for any of this gas fee, and they will require also like a direct sign-in without going through the main account. So this is just an example. Basically what we're doing is connecting directly with the Snap and doing the swap directly with the light accounts. So I'm just confirming, and the gas fee will be paid directly from the main account. So this was just a quick example. I see I have like 2 minutes, but I wanted to give a tour on the docs here, specific on 437, but it's actually like quite long. This is something that also we did for kind of like enhancing the user experience for those dApp developers. We created like a template on the 437 account Snap that people can take and fork it and build on top of it. And you can actually see like what you can do. You can create different accounts. You can get an account. You can link account. You can remove access and update the account directly on the Snap. Here are some of the resources. So Alex also like build a going beyond the secret recovery phrase in MetaMask with account management. Custom EVM accounts is also a super interesting page that I recommend everybody to check when they're building like or extending functionality. And then there is a full category called account management. Is the one that I showed you before. I think a couple of key takeaways that have like 50 seconds is the cool thing is that having Snaps being completely siloed and acting as independent apps, they can interact with also your own API or external API. So actually that's super interesting. One thing to say is that keyrings and current API since CCC, they're fully supporting MFA type experience. So it's actually like it's a quite open floor for a lot of like MPC wallets also. So actually it's quite interesting. And then you can experiment this on Flask. Flask is the canary version of MetaMask. It's kind of like the violet logo that you see here. And yeah, and the goal is really to have like specific people that are working on Paymaster, on smart accounts, smart contract developers that are actually like extending the functionality on the 437 support. And yeah, so this is a QR code for the directory that I mentioned before. Those are the 4 categories that you want to actually see that are speaking beyond those AA snaps. And for anybody who's interested in building, this is a QR code. You can actually see what's happening on the background. We have different like programs. We have different monorepo and specific accounts that you can actually start. And yeah, big round of applause for Epoch for inviting me. And I hope I was not too long for giving you an account abstraction snap overview. Thank you, guys.